Well, we begin the bulletin with news that 3 police officers, including one attached to Prime Minister Raila Odinga's security detail, are tonight being held in custody on suspicion of involvement in carjacking. Nairobi Provincial Police Officer Anthony Kibuchi says the 3 officers have been dismissed from the force and will appear in court tomorrow morning. Now, the news that an officer attached to the guard of the Prime Minister has been detained on suspicion of armed robbery has jolted the police force, which has vowed to crack the whip on errant officers. Abdi Osman begins this bulletin with a shocking revelation that some of the people detained to protect citizens may indeed be the very ones perpetrating crime.
This vehicle's broken side window bore the signs of a struggle that may have ensued when the suspected carjackers fought to contain 2 truck drivers fighting for their freedom along the Nakuru-Nairobi highway. Only that this time the said carjackers turned out to be police officers. Dagoretti OCPD Matthew Guio confirmed the arrests. It all started when one of the drivers slowed down his truck after sighting his colleague looking stranded along the busy Waiyaki Way near the Kikuyu town turnoff.
5 men, 2 who were reported to be in police uniform appeared and inquired from him what he wants to do with the other driver. So at this juncture, the 2 drivers were abandoned to a saloon car.
The hijacked truck drivers reportedly put up a fight inside the saloon car, with one of them overpowering a suspected gangster, later reported to be a police officer, and disarming him in the process. It is the dropped gun and its serial number that led detectives to one of the police officers said to be behind the botched robbery attempt. 2 other officers were nabbed after they abandoned this getaway car outside the home of the man they had hired it from. They later came back for it and took it to a Kirinyaga Road garage to repair the broken window, but unknown to them, detectives were already trailing them after the owner reported the anomaly.
Currently, we are holding 3 police officers who are appearing in court tomorrow to be charged for the offense of robbery.
In a telephone interview, Nairobi PPO Anthony Kibuchi said the 3 officers have now been summarily dismissed from the force. Kibuchi confirmed that one of the officers was attached to Prime Minister Raila Odinga's rural home in Bondo. Kibuchi said it was not clear how the officer ended up in the city, where he reported the missing gun on Saturday morning, claiming he had been robbed at Mudhurwa while planning to travel to Western Kenya. The PPO say the officer was supposed to have been at his duty station in Nyanza. The said officer was arrested when he went to report that he had allegedly been mugged and lost the firearm. The 2 other officers nabbed were attached to the Kabete police station. The 3 will appear in court Monday morning. There are many hard-working police officers manning the many police stations across the country, but news that there could be some rogue elements within the force engaging in crime whilst wearing the crown comes as disturbing news to many Kenyans. Vigilance House will be expected to act fast to end this problem. Abdi Osman, Sunday Live.
Now, public schools across the country are facing an acute food crisis that is leaving many a head teacher uncertain as to how they could possibly sustain the school feeding program until the end of the 2nd term. Now, most of the schools visited by Citizen TV are complaining that the maize flour supply they have is not enough to feed their school populations. And to make matters worse, the ministry has not released extra funds with which they could purchase more food. This even as Education Permanent Secretary Professor James Olekiyapi assures schools that the necessary funds will be sent in the coming week. Our senior reporter Evelyn Wamboi is on that story.